First question, what kind of follower are you? Are you a sympathizer, a spectator, a follower, a disciple, or an apostle? In the first reading, and even the gospel, we could see God called people, prepare them, and send them out for a mission. We could see that in the first reading with Prophet Amos. And I can very well identify with Prophet Amos because I'm a son of a farmer. And then looking back, when I was a child, people will ask you, what do you want to become when you grow old? I said, in my role playing, I wanted to become a teacher. And then it changed into, I want to be a doctor. I want to be in a film or in a television, like the Hollywood artist, right? And then I want to travel the world. Didn't happen. When my father died when I was 12, things changed. I was looking for a father figure to be able to, as a mentor. And then I was led into the parish in our town in the Philippines. And I joined the parish youth committee. So I was involved in the youth. And I was really enjoying my life there. And then I come to be close to our parish priest. I said, they are like father to me. And I said, that kind of father I would love to become. And so when John Paul II went to the Philippines for World Youth Day in 1995, he said, young men, give yourself to the priesthood. I said, yes. And I was with my girlfriend, then I said, yes. I forgot everything. I said, sorry. And then the following year, 1996, I went to the seminary. I spent 5 years in philosophy, 5 years in theology. And then I was invited to have a spiritual education in Italy, Florence, where I spent 1 year. And because of that experience, I was challenged to live a life not of clericalism that is so big in the Philippines. And so I went teaching for 5 years, and then I picked up again my vocation, and I went to Russia, Vladivostok, Russia, to be able to, for formation. So I was able to accomplish to become a teacher, and then I traveled the world, right? And then when I was in Russia, my superior said, you will be assigned somewhere else. Okay, I will obey. Where? In America. What? I don't like America, don't get me wrong, okay? Because by that, so many scandals, so many problems, politics, morals, you name it, right? You know that. And so the more I was afraid and said, okay, I will obey. Where in America? In Las Vegas. What? The more I said, you know my weaknesses. Why there? Well, I obey, and I found beautiful people here. In the poverty of the place, I found the richness of God's grace. I would always say that. And so, the gospel for today also speaks to me personally. It said, travel light. So from 2016, I came in the United States with one backpack and one luggage. And after 4 years of priesthood here, I was transferred last week here, and I drove my car 3 times to bring my things. I said, this is not good. But the message of Jesus is actually practical. We all know that, travel light, but we always overpack our things when we travel. It is practical because during those times, if you bring a lot of things, it can attract marauders and robbers, right? So you won't be able to do your mission because you will be robbed. He said, bring a stick, because the staff, is actually your self-defense against animals and many other things. And so the dependence on God. And I'm still learning that. It's hard when people give you and the sentiments get into you. Hard to give away this one because this is given. You will accumulate a lot of things. And that can be a distraction from doing a mission. Sometimes I focus on materials in the sense that my materials for my homily rather than the message. Now, that is the side of my story. But for us here, why do you go to church every Sunday? Why? You have to answer that question to be able to understand and go deeper into our knowledge of our faith. Aliana? Because one of the things that we miss a lot is the word mission. I pity and I pray for those people who leave the church before or after communion. Because it is on the very end of the Mass that we are being sent. Mission is from the Latin word missio, meaning sending out, and of a special journey. So you come here actually in the church to be able to receive the blessing in order to do your mission afterwards. Latin missa, dismissal. And so if you're going before that, then you're not receiving the blessing for your mission. You come here this week in order actually to submit what you have accomplished to the Lord. Just like the apostle coming back and reporting to Jesus what their mission had been. And then, at the end of the Mass, you'll be sent out again, receiving the blessing of God. I said to those people who rush out of the church, are you rushing to go to heaven? Right? It's up to you. But that is the message of the Mass. You come here, lay down all your offering, whatever accomplishment or failures that you had been this week, to be able to get something, inspiration. It's not my word. The gospel, the readings are alive in itself. The bread that we are receiving, Christ in the Eucharist, is the very sustenance that we need to be able to accomplish our mission. Now, what is your mission in life? Couples, they said, at times, your spouse is a blessing. At times, they will be your mission. It can be also consummation, right? In the Filipino language, sorry, consummation. How do you translate in Tagalog, in English? Consummation, right? Your problem, your difficulty, your challenge, your mission, right? And so, when you walk in the aisles of the church during your wedding day, remember that. That becomes your solemn mission to bring your spouse to walk in the aisles of heaven. You don't need to be a missionary to go far and beyond, but to start in your family. Look at us here. I don't know which family can bring the whole family on Sunday. Probably with your children or your husband or your wife, but not everyone. And so let us make that as our mission next Sunday. Hopefully those vacant seats will be full. It is hard. But that's why Jesus is sending us 2 by 2. Thank you, Aliana. Can you get back to that? I try to imagine that would be Father Bill and myself on that slide. So I came here last week and to help Father Bill, and of course to learn from him too, his wisdom and experience, to be able to be a better priest, a holy and an efficient priest. So we are on the same both of a different mission. And so, again, let's go back to my first question. What kind of disciples are you? Are you an spectator, a sympathizer, a follower, the one that learns to the master, or the apostle? Because the word apostle meaning sent. So if you adhere to your mission, then you are apostle to your family, to your friends. And if you don't have any partner in life, find a good friend to be your partner in a spiritual battle, to be able to live our faith together. Let me end my homily with a story. The priest was giving an homily about heaven and heaven and hell. So at one point he said to the congregation, "Those who would like to go to heaven, please stand up." And of course, everyone in the crowd stood up. And then he went on. And then he asked again, "For those who would like to go to hell, please stand." Of course, no one stood up. And then from in the pastor's hindsight, he saw Nathanael, right? Slowly standing up with much struggle and trepidation and said, "Nathanael, would you like to go to hell?" "No, Father." "Then why did you stood up?" "Well, Father, because I saw you're standing alone." And being a sacristan, an altar server, I have to go wherever you go. That boy will certainly go to heaven. Hopefully he will bring the priest, right? But no, it is a partnership. Go 2 by 2. Because Jesus said, "If 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in your midst." It is practical, it is spiritual. So let us ponder this throughout this Mass to be able to hear what God is asking us in our life, to heed His call for the mission that He is imparting to us today. Amen.